It's the Patriot Radio News Hour live from the Hole in the Ceiling studios in drop-dead gorgeous Deer Valley, Arizona. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. 22 years we've been right here doing it better than anybody. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website, at allamericangold.com, where you get all your news, the articles, the videos, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, the metals program. If you want to do IRAs, we got it there for you. Of course, what we do, the physical delivery of wealth insurance. And talking about gold and silver. And, you know, it's funny, as the dollar getting hit again today, the ECB, they had their equivalent of a Federal Reserve meeting, their central bank meeting. Mario Draghi, who is the head banker over there, very unhappy with the United States and what happened yesterday in Davos with Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary. We get Donald Trump talking in Davos tomorrow. We've got gold getting ready to take out the 2016 highs and go to highs we haven't seen since 2014. Are we going to have $1,400 gold by the end of the month? Everybody's talking about it. A lot of comments. The Chinese, they were really unhappy about it. We'll try to get through all of those things. We had new home sales out today. We had existing home sales out yesterday. And I'll just, both of them down. New home sales were down big, almost 10% on new home sales. Sales were down 10% in December. Existing homes, they were down as well. That was the other day. Jobless claims were out today, and they were in line, 240,000, 230,000, kind of what we've been seeing for a long time now. Home Depot came out, and the headlines, I don't know if the Home Depot employees are calling up because they're upset. The headline, Home Depot got to give all their employees $1,000. Not quite. If you've been there for 20 years, I guess you're going to get a one-time $1,000. Everybody else is going to get between $200 and $250. If you've been there, I think $200 for 2 years. I think you get $250 if you've been there like 10 years, something like that. Maybe it's $300 up to 10 years. A one-time deal. That was out in the news for a while. The gold markets were 1,357 right now. Silver 1752, but I got a feeling it's just getting started. Gold overnight, while we were sleeping, broke 1365. Came back, filled the hole. Now we're going back the other way. That would put gold at the highest levels. You have to go all the way back to April of 2014. If we close above 1365, then we'll look at 1385, which was the highs of April of 2014, and then 1400. And then after 1400, all bets are off. How high does it go? We had Caterpillar that had good earnings today. The oil sector really helping. Caterpillar oil now over 66, heading its way to 70. Kind of gold and oil been running together here. My guess would be $70 oil and $1,400 gold are probably going to go hand in hand. We'll have to watch what gasoline prices do from there. The bond market, we've been keeping our eye on that as well. Just kind of sitting there watching the currency wars play out. The bond market 10-year note at 266. Pretty much most. They've been trading between 265 and 267 for all of the day. But before we get to all of that, so yesterday I get in my car to come to work, and the tire light comes on, because you got tire lights now, right? And says, I got low tire pressure. And I'm like, oh, man, because it's Arizona, and everyone knows here in Arizona you're going to catch a nail somewhere. especially kind of where we're at. Where our offices are at, there's a lot of construction companies, small companies around us. But nonetheless, I said, okay. I go to the tire place that's right next door to me, and been doing that since before when me and my wife lived in Anthem. We've been using these guys. C&R Tire, I'll give them a little plug. That's that's just who we go to. Nice guys. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop at the gas station. Just kind of put some air, put enough air in it because I'm just going to drive to work and then I'll take care of it there. $1.50 for air. I'm like, what? I mean, I haven't gotten air in my tire in a long time. I just haven't. $1.50. And what was amazing? I was like, man, I bet, what are some people going to do? They don't got $1.50. And then because you got to have quarters. And then I saw it. They actually have on the air machine a spot for your debit card. Yeah, they thought of everything. $1.50 I paid for air so I could get to work today. And I'm not even going to talk about the price of tires. I mean, it's, wow. You can't put 4 tires on a car and get out of there for less than, I think $600 would be a steal. But, for me, for my car, 4 tires, over $800. And I'm not buying the super Michelin, super this, that, the others. I'm just buying what's like a reasonably decent tire. And yeah, incredible. I don't know. $1. I remember when air was free. And I know it wasn't free anymore, but the last time I think I did, it was like 25 cents or 50 cents. Yeah, $1.50 to get air in your tire. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. Silent angel, go to sleep. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and to love. You know what? I was just telling Darlene, remember when they used to say, why would anyone buy bottled water when it's free out of your tap? And yeah, $1.50 for me to fill up my tire so I could get to where, let me tell you, I wish it was only $1.50. I'd have been happy. Actually having to buy tires is, not fun. 800-951-0592. Gold's already moved again since we've been during the commercial break now, 1358.50. Silver now 1755. And I'm kind of targeting today somewhere 1365 and 1775 for gold and silver respectively. A lot of reaction. If you didn't hear yesterday's show, so Steve Mnuchin, he is the Treasury Secretary of the United States, broke with long-standing, I guess, tradition, and today maybe he'll do something a little more. Not maybe. He did something that apparently he wasn't supposed to do. They have this thing, these central bankers, right? They have this deal in place. And of course, we've seen, they're the ultimate collusion, if you will. And one of the rules, it's an unwritten rule apparently, but one of the rules is the United States Treasury Secretary, and really anybody, you don't talk about weak dollar, right? You don't come out and make an official stance. So today they brought him out on the idiot box. Okay, so he's on the billionaire channel, CNBC, and they were giving him the opportunity to clarify. Hey, maybe we misunderstood because you were in Germany. And maybe something was lost in translation, and go ahead and clean it up. And Mnuchin said, and here's just what he said. He said, dollar weakness is not a concern of mine. That was his official answer. I'm not concerned about it. In other words, I'm not taking back what I said yesterday, which is I want the dollar to be weaker. In the long term, and by the way, I guess that's the short term. I don't know how long short term is, but rest assured, he wasn't talking about a 1 or 2% drop in the dollar, right? If he's calling for dollar weakness, I would say at a minimum, right, he's got to be looking for at least, 10%, maybe 20%? In the long term, we fundamentally believe in the strength of the dollar, right? That's their position now. And he readily admitted that maybe this is different than what people expect from the Treasury. But when he was asked about his comments on Wednesday, if it reflected a change in traditional U.S. policy, Mnuchin replied, "It's not a shift in my position." Maybe it's a shift with other people's positions, but it's not in mine. It's not a shift on my position on the dollar at all. So the Treasury Secretary doubles down and says, we need the dollar to be lower, and obviously we're not talking about a little bit lower. The Chinese followed it up. And actually, they targeted both Mnuchin and Wilbur Ross. So Wilbur Ross, for those of you that didn't listen yesterday, he's our Commerce Secretary. He's the trade guy. Okay, so you got the Treasury Secretary and the Commerce Secretary, right, the trade guy, together, both speaking in Davos with all their other billionaire buddies, saying that we want a weaker dollar. That was Mnuchin. Ross was like, get ready. What did he say? The troops are at the rampart, and we want a better trade deal, and we're going to go after people, and we're going to start putting tariffs, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Giving them the old Newt Rockney. China says that the report provided by Ross and his aggressive rhetoric overlooks fact, shows unilateralism, strongly opposes the Commerce Ministry. China doesn't want an escalation of the trade spats with the United States and is open to dialogue and cooperation. However, China will take appropriate measures against what it feels is unilateral actions by the United States. So that started the dollar down lower. They said the rapiding strength has triggered panic in the market, talking about now the yuan is at the highest levels in years, aggravating the sentiment to sell dollars. So now people are saying the Chinese are getting ready to move even quicker, possibly, into getting their currency. And we talked about this the other day. China is launching the ability now to start using their own currency to book trades and buy, whether it's crude oil or other commodities, and getting out of and allowing countries to get out of the U.S. dollar. And the Chinese ministry said due to the rapid decline in the dollar, they are going to move quicker now. So a little war of words, I guess, is how you could say it, as far as the dollar is concerned. I think the bigger news, though, so that was while we were sleeping, right? So we missed those fireworks. The ECB, the European Central Bank, they had one of their, they do just kind of like we do. Every 6 weeks they have a meeting. Today was their day. Right, and they talked about, okay, we're not raising rates yet. We're winding down. They're still in quantitative easing, but they're going to be winding it down. And there's debate as to whether there's going to be a rate. They're going to start raising rates at the end of this year or starting next year. But if you blinked, you missed what they're calling a remarkable development today in their press conference. So Draghi was out in the media towards the end of the QA session. So, and this is, like I said, they do just like we do. Every other meeting, they have the big press conference, and they allow reporters to ask questions. He took a direct swipe at the recent U.S. dollar jawboning, accusing both Mnuchin and Ross, so both our Treasury Secretary and our Commerce Secretary, and essentially the entire Trump administration of verbally manipulating the U.S. dollar and for not complying with the agreed terms, which has led to the euro to gain, matter of fact, the euro at 3-year highs. So Draghi used the words that the United States is not complying to the agreed terms. And again, this is kind of what I was talking about. There's been a long-standing policy, hey, don't talk about that. You can't come out and tell people you want the dollar to be weaker. That's not what the agreement is. Someone else's FX talks doesn't comply with agreed terms. The euro gained also due to comments from someone else. And they were talking about Draghi's demeanor in the meeting, and they could, in the sense of his frustration with the United States. And really, here's the thing, folks. This is it, man. We are on the wrong side. This is what happened. Right? We have no other choice. The dollar has to go down. It's not a maybe. It's not a, well, this is, it goes up and it goes down, it goes up. And yes, that it still does go up and down, but the past is down. Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. Well, I'm just going to say this. Here, it was an unprecedented attack, and this was out of Citigroup, an unprecedented attack by one former Goldman banker, Mario Draghi, right? Does that surprise you? I didn't know. I just learned that today. I did not know that Draghi also was a Goldman Sachs guy. Of course he is. On a former Goldman Sachs banker, right? Steve Mnuchin, right? That's where Mnuchin came from. Citigroup, fairly remarkable for a central banker of Draghi's standing to speak out like this and to criticize another bloc foreign exchange policies or practices. and I'm going to tell you, this is it. Get ready. Currency wars, trade wars, right? All of those things. Because here's the problem. Everybody's got all this debt, right? Everybody wants the jobs, right? Everybody's fighting to try to get that mythical GDP unicorn and get their economy going. And now, here we sit, and it's so funny because you think about all of these people when they talked about NAFTA and GATT way back when. Remember, the trade union guys, even our own union guys were saying, yeah, we need free trade. Think about, yes, America's going to sell all this stuff to everybody. Right? The Chinese, they need refrigerators and microwaves. They need automobiles. They need everything. See, what they didn't know was that was never the plan. Right? That was the same plan, and how did we get here? Right? That was the same plan about how did we get Obamacare? Right? Hey, you can keep your own doctor, right? Of course you can keep your own plan, and it's gonna reduce the deficit, and of course it doesn't. And you end up with something far, far different. This was the plan the whole time. Right? These companies were going to move jobs over to these other countries and essentially, you're right, make profits. Right? That's really what the name of the game was all about. And now we're surprised. And I remember, because Eric, when I first met him, he was telling me, someday they're going to want it back. Right? We're going to want it back. And someday's here. We want the jobs back. Right? The problem is, if we want the jobs back, the minimum wage probably got to go like $50 an hour for us to be able to afford it. I mean, if air is $1.50, and I'm talking, listen, run of the mill, and I'm sure, and I don't even want to know. I'm almost positive they probably weren't made here, and it was still, $800 for 4 tires. And now all of a sudden everybody's upset because now we want it back and we're going to openly campaign to get it back. And now Mario Draghi said, hey, that's not the deal we had. The Chinese are like, wait a minute, that's not the deal. You don't get to do that. Gold $13.60 now as it continues to move. I'm going to check. Yeah, whoa. Okay, the dollar down 60 more basis points, 88.64. So the sell-off picking up steam. Gold's now up over $4. Silver is up about almost 10 cents now, 17.57. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin came out on the idiot box on CNBC, and I think what it was supposed to be was a walk back, right? Hey, walk that back. And instead what Mnuchin did was double down, said, no, I'm not, that's my position. Let me be clear. I have not changed my position on where I believe the dollar needs to go. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be right back after the break.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily broadcast from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, a national volunteer organization founded by Phyllis Schlafly and continuing to uphold her legacy by opposing radical feminism and representing a traditional conservative perspective in our nation's capital. Now from the Phyllis Schlafly Center studios, here's Ryan Haidt.
While large corporations dominate the news and the lobbying in D.C., economists have long known that small business is the real engine to drive economic growth. Headlines about big business are more likely to mention massive layoffs than any hiring plans. Small business and innovation by small inventors are essential to our economy, as some of them will become the big employers of tomorrow. Kodak and Xerox were just 2 of the successful businesses founded on an idea of a small inventor and a patent that secured for him the fruits of his labor. Yet, today, 80% of challenged patents are invalidated in some way by the Patent and Trademark Office, without the patent owner ever getting his day in court. Imagine the outrage if homes or other property were taken away by an administrative agency without a court hearing. In late November, the Supreme Court held lively oral arguments on a case called Oil States Energy Services versus Greens Energy. This case, supported by small inventors, challenges how the federal government is taking away their property in deprivation of their Seventh Amendment right to a jury trial. Several justices expressed dismay at how our patent system, once the envy of the world, has denigrated into a victim of the administrative state. Due to a federal law enacted in 2011 called the America Invents Act, the Patent Office changes its mind and tosses out most of the patents that it previously issued if someone asks it to. Anyone, a competitor, a disgruntled employee, or even a stranger, can ask the Patent Office to strike down a previously issued patent without the right of the patent holder to have a trial in court. Raymond P. Nero explained how important the rights of small inventors are to a prosperous future in an article available on a helpful website, IP Watchdog. He listed nearly 36 inventions that have changed the world, all by individual inventors who ultimately formed companies to exploit their ideas, but who initially manufactured nothing.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. American ingenuity should be celebrated and rewarded. Individual inventors should be protected from any threat, foreign or domestic, that would steal their patents and profits. At phyllisschlafly.com, we promise to stand up for those who work hard, innovate, and dream big. If that's you, join us at phyllisschlafly.com. And thanks for listening to the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
Welcome back, 800-951-0592. I got two different things going on here. Just got notification. I got an opportunity. I'll do that in the next segment. Before we get to another great buying opportunity, this is coming out. I just want to make sure I've got it right here. China, and this is coming from the Bank of China. The Securities Daily is the newspaper citing the Bank of China's chief economist. Okay, so Bank of China's chief economist in their daily newspaper now is reacting to what has been happening, saying that the yuan was likely to appreciate further due to dollar weaknesses as other central banks could exit from their quantitative easing policies quickly, and that China expects faster growth in the yuan's currency reserves. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about, we talked about this here, how Germany's going to add it to their levels. The Bank of France is confirming that they're doing it as well. And everyone's differing. Everybody right now, people are saying, hey, that the Chinese are going to pass the yen and the British pound as far as a reserve currency. But according to this, they're saying that, and again, this is the Bank of China, that the Chinese economy will be passing by the United States in 2020. They already consume more stuff. Now I guess I want to get the title right, and I apologize, but the chief economist, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, said that the Chinese yuan is going to continue to appreciate further. He expects the yuan to be broadly used or more broadly used as a reserve currency, and that the Chinese economy will pass that of the United States by 2020. Global reserve allocations are a slow-moving beast. This was out of Bank of America Merrill Lynch. But the dollar's role as the leading reserve currency has been trending lower for close to 2 decades. The acceleration of the U.S. dollar slide with U.S. rates rising provides a real-time measure of when diversification will be accelerating. So now you have, Bank of America Merrill Lynch saying, hey, you know what? I guess we got to change how long we thought it was going to be. It appears that things are going to be moving faster as the U.S. dollar continues its decline, and now that we're taking this open stance of, hey, it needs to get weaker. All of those having an effect. Here's the thing that I love the most. And I remember, my uncles always used to say, gold is shy. Gold doesn't like to be the center of attention. And it's got perfect cover, doesn't it, right? We got the stock market rallying. No one's even talking about it on the headline. Yesterday gold was up over. Gold finished the day up almost $20. No one even said a word about it. And gold loves the cover here. I think we're going to see. And again, things are. This is lightning pace. And I know it's hard to understand, but the dollar's not supposed to move like this. Right? We're not talking about the dollar being silver. Right? We expect silver to do crazy things. By the way, yesterday, the largest move in the price of silver, the largest up move in the price of silver in a year and a half. Silver yesterday also breaking through key resistance points and moving higher on the news. And And we'll just have to wait to see what Trump tomorrow takes center stage. If he reiterates what Mnuchin and Ross were saying, which I got to believe that he is, I think we could be setting ourselves up here for that run to 1,400. And, of course, that's just going to be the beginning. And really, when you think about it logically, the dollar was at, 90, right? Just above 90. And I kept saying, hey, it's going to break 80, break into the 80s. But it was, 90.2. Why would the Treasury Secretary and the Commerce Secretary and what we believe to be President Trump tomorrow just go out and break tradition and call for a weaker dollar, then double down, right? So that was yesterday, Mnuchin and Wilbur Ross. Mnuchin saying the dollar needs to go down. Wilbur Ross says, get ready, we're going to have a trade war. Then today they gave Mnuchin the opportunity to walk it back. Instead, he doubles down. What type of move in the dollar do you think they really want? It's not 88, right? Why would you say anything, right? If you wanted the dollar to be 89 or 88, you don't say that it was going there anyway, right? And I was telling you, listen, I was telling you this year I thought the dollar would be 84 or 85. Right, without them saying anything. So what are we really talking about? Right? And I don't, 80's not it. 70's not it. And are we looking at a number? Are we going to see new all-time lows in the dollar? It's not going to be overnight. Let's hope not. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't imagine the dollar falling that fast, that quickly. But get ready, it's here. And it's all about the same thing that we talked about, all the side effects, if you will, of giving all the jobs away, exchanging jobs for debt, which is essentially what the United States did. We'll give you jobs, you buy our debt. We've blown up all the balance sheets. We've manipulated all the markets. And guess what? It's not enough. Right, all the funny business that the Federal Reserve and all these other central banks have done, it's not enough. Now they're like, wait a minute, we actually need to get some growth going. Because the debt's going to double in the next 10 years. We need to get growth going, and the only way to get growth going, we got to somehow get these jobs back. Well, you think the Chinese are just going to hand them back? Right, you think that these companies out there like Home Depot, just think about the billions of dollars that we just gave Home Depot. What did they do? We're going to give you a one-time bump. 99% of our employees are going to get between $200 to $300 bonus once. Thanks for the billions. Patriot Radio News Hour got a great special coming up next. I know. I get all geeked out. Right? It's exciting, right? Here it all is. All these things that we've been talking about for decades, right? Here, right in our face. Our Treasury Secretary breaks code and says, dude, we got to go all in here. Dollar needs to go down and way down. And then I'm going to double down on it. And then tomorrow we're going to get the president. He's going to double down on the double down. I was getting, that was popping up. I got another alert. This was from our largest supplier. We are offering up to 200 AU $20 St. Gaudens. Okay, so the St. Gaudens coins, AU means almost uncirculated. These are as close as you can get to having it be a graded coin. In other words, these coins either never made it into circulation but have a few more dings and dents, or they're just, right, they were lightly circulated. These things are awesome looking, and I'm saying that because he's telling me this. The price we're offering them to you has not been seen in 25 years in relationship to the spot price. Got spot gold $1,360. If you are familiar with the quality of our AU products, you know that these are as nice as they come. That was his email to me. We are able to offer $20 Saints. Now, our price on a Saint, which is one of the best in the country, ungraded, what we call the raw ones, is $1,410. But then you got raw, you got XF, VF, right? AU's $13.95 for AU $20 Saints. That puts it at the price of an ungraded Liberty, right? That's actually, you're going to be able to buy AU Saints for less than a raw Saint. If you buy 10 or more, I'm going to throw in the shipping. So at $13.95, you buy 10 of them, $13,950, and then I'll throw in the shipping if you buy 10 or more. U.S. AU $20 Saints, and listen, these guys are the best. These things are going to be, they're going to be fantastic looking material. $35 over spot for an AU coin. I can tell you right now, it's never been done here at Patriot ever. And we've been here 22 years. 800-951-0592. Just keep adding them. Rolls of Silver Eagles, by the way, because I want, throw some silver in with it. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles, today only $400. That puts it at $2.44 over spot. So Rolls of Silver Eagles at $400. AU $20 Saints, $13.95 at 800-951-0592. That is the toll-free number. And, as we watch all of this play out, new home sales, like we talked about, came out down 10%. Well, the official number is 9 point. Sorry about that. It was slow popping up. 9.3%. But really, it was down even more than that. They took a big revision to November's number. Remember, that was like the all-time record high going back to like July of 2007. They revised that way down about 50,000 units. December's number fell 10% from that number. New home sales are now about evenly supplied, but it was the price. So $335,000 was the average price for a new home. And I had one of our customers, and we were talking about things, and we were talking about how, in the good book, right, the Bible's not a big fan of debt, right? It's just not. And you think about, people that want to live that, you can't do it, right? Who's walking around with $335,000, even an existing home, the average price. So this is something, hey, it's a run-of-the-mill home, $250,000. It's truly incredible what things are. Air for your tire is now $1.50. I can't get over it. I don't know why I shouldn't be surprised. And they actually have the debit card machine, right? Because they know, hey, nobody has any money anymore, right? Nobody has. I did. I got all kinds of quarter in my middle console, but yeah, there it is. And now I'm trying to think of where I want to go now. All of these things, all of these alerts are continuing to pop up. Everyone's talking about the developments in the dollar, what it's going to mean for not only for the dollar, but for the world in general. The Chinese, how quickly are they going to be moving, and all of those other things. Yesterday, we talked about it. Silver topped its 50-day moving average. It had the largest move since November the 1st of 2016. Gold continuing breaking through all of their resistance levels as well. And just remember now, pretty much, I don't want to say everybody, but most people now are kind of falling into where I told you things were going to be. Most people expect silver, $20 silver this year. Gold, we're seeing gold anywhere from 14 and a quarter to 1,550. And I'm, I'd tell you probably split the difference, right? Somewhere high 14s, low $1,500 gold would be my guess, unless more of this craziness continues. And who knows? All bets are off. AU Saints. Don't let it go by. $13.95, 800-951-0592. Final segment coming up. So what does all this dollar weakness really mean for us? What does it mean to you? Right? Some people, you may be excited. Yeah, it's about time. Yeah, we got to get this stuff back. Let me tell you what it means. It's really, some people call it a hidden tax. I don't know if it's hidden. Right? We pay more. That's what it means. And remember what I told you. You know how far the dollar's got to fall before it would make sense to bring these jobs back? You don't want to know. It's a hidden tax on people who hold dollar-denominated assets. It's a hidden tax on your bank account. That's what it is. That's what it means. It also is creating rates to rise even farther. So if you have dollar-denominated debt, right, credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgage debt, auto loan debt, it's going to cost you more. It's a benefit to those who have dollar-denominated liabilities. And remember what gold is. Gold is the hedge against the dollar. So when you have your Treasury Secretary, I mean, it's huge. It really is huge. It's hard to understate what it really means. He wants your purchasing power to be mitigated, right? He wants it to be less. It raises the country's inflation, right? It's coming, right? The beast is coming. It devalues the debt-denominated assets in the weakening currency. This is what it does. And this is what we're hedging against. I really think we're in a great sweet spot here because the stock market has taken, no one's paying attention, and gold's going to go to new highs. We're right on the precipice here. I'm expecting Trump tomorrow to come out and, like I said, double down on the double down, and we're get ready as the dollar is going to continue to slide. The dollar spent a day, 24 hours at 89. Today down 88.68 right at this moment. 88.68 on the dollar. Gold right now up 370, 380, 360 and change. Silver is at $17.58. AU $20 Saints going back 25 years has never been available this close to the spot price in 25 years. They're $13.95. These are the AU $20 Saints. If you buy 10 or more, we throw in the shipping at 800-951-0592. I would add some silver to that. I'm getting rolls of silver Eagles today, $400, $2.42 over spot. That's like cost. Take the time, add some silver with it. So U.S. Silver Eagles at $400 a roll. There's 20 in a roll. If you've never ordered from us before, it's so easy. Just tell Arlene, I want the special. She's just going to ask you how many you like. You tell her. She's going to give you the total. You send the check. We ship it to you, registered, insured, U.S. mail. 800-951-0592. I actually can't wait for tomorrow. Everyone take care. Enjoy that Thursday. We'll talk again.